Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
I know. It's more, I know. Here we go. It's happening, people. Sorry, I don't do these solo pods, and as you can tell, we're just like figuring this out. Welcome to Jeremiah Wonders. I'm your host, Jeremiah Watkins, and there's some podcasts out there that do this style where it's like, I got a lot to say. I'm not really one of those comics, but I sometimes feel like I have stuff to say. And today is one of those situations where I want to talk to you guys, the listeners and the viewers, and check in with you. Lots going on with me lately, and I want to say what's up to y'all. So this is going to be a solo episode, and I have my assistant video editor who helps me with a lot of the behind the scenes stuff on stand-up clips, stand-up on the spot stuff, Jeremiah Wonders, just basically whatever edits I need help with. I'm going to introduce my pal Ben to you guys who's off screen. So say what's up, Ben.
What's up, guys?
Real person. Wouldn't that be weird if I kept referencing a producer who wasn't actually here? I just made up a character.
You're just doing all the work behind the scenes.
Yeah. I'm just like, I can't have people knowing that I'm actually getting help sometimes. I do everything. No, but I don't do everything because between my stand-up and stand-up on the spot and Jeremiah Wonders and Scissor Bros, I need help. And Ben was one of the people who I actually found through when I reached out to people on the Scissor Bros podcast. You said that you were, who was the relationship of the friend? It was a friend of yours?
My brother.
Your brother watches Scissor Bros.
Yes.
And so it just so happened to work out that Ben answered the call. We hit it off. We grabbed lunch, and I was like, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I need. And we were simpatico and been working together since when?
June of last year.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It's already been a minute. But I will say that Ben has helped me not go completely insane because if you see what's going on up here, you don't want to live in here. It's a little bit much, guys. So Ben's been helping me, and it's been a big improvement as far as workflow and everything like that. And I got to acknowledge, right out of the gate, Super Bowl champions, guys. I know I'm sporting all of the Kansas City gear right now. I kind of have to do it. I got a rep for KC out here in LA. There's a lot of people who move to a new city. They don't rep where they're from, but your boy does. Your boy
does. He keeps repping out here in them streets.
And people got mad at me for making
a Rihanna fat joke last night.
She's pregnant, obviously. That was the whole thing. And there's people like, she's pregnant, you idiot. And it's like, that's why I'm making the joke, you freaking
idiot.
So don't come at me with this me not knowing comedy, not knowing what the joke is. Anytime you have to explain a joke in general, it's not as good of a joke as you would like it to be. It was a simple joke that I was making, and people like lit up my Instagram on the comment section. And very much, it was interesting. I like doing the live tweeting and posting videos along with, big events that everyone's watching, like Super Bowl. Did the Tubi ad get you? Because it did me. I literally thought my son grabbed the remote. I thought I was going crazy with what was going on because guess what? He had already changed it a couple times earlier. So I was already paranoid. I was already antsy on what was going on. And then all of a sudden, it's an ad for Tubi to the point where I had a few people over and we're all looking at each other like, did he do it? No. Like we're all looking. They got us. That was, in my opinion, probably the best marketing of an ad I've seen in freaking years. Did that get you, Ben?
It got my mom, and we all made fun of her, but I think it probably got a lot of people.
Ooh, that just hurt your boy, because me and
Ben's mom are the same age, I guess. I don't know what's happening.
Uh, yeah. So Boomer Jeremiah fell for it. I guess that's what Ben was politely saying. It didn't get you at all.
You know what I think was good about it was it did like the Apple TV sound effects on it. I think
Yes.
that's what really sold it for
Yeah.
people. Yeah. I think it was good.
Anyway, that took the wind out of my sail on that one, but that's okay. Yeah. It was cool, obviously, to be a Chiefs fan and see them just win. Because you know what? As a Chiefs fan, and I know our field goal kicker is one of the best, we were cursed in the 90s with field goal kicks, and I just kept imagining him missing that kick because the stakes were so high, and it was like a 27-yard field goal or whatever, but still, anything can happen in the Super Bowl, and I was still freaking out. I'm like, we do not have this until the clock is completely drained. It's not the most fun way to win a Super Bowl by draining a clock. The Patriots did it to us years ago, like in the playoffs, and it sucks. So, and the thing that's hard about this situation, I've got a lot of friends who are comics from Philly. Some of my favorite comics, actually. Some of my favorite comics working today are from the Philly scene and from the Texas scene. I feel like for whatever reason, those two scenes have bred some freaking hilarious monsters. And I wanted to text them, but you can't because it would have been too awkward. I don't want to be the guy that's rubbing it in, even trying to be nice, because I try to be nice and I feel like that would even be making it worse. Like me as a guy who might even be known as a nice guy to be like, hey man, you guys really did your thing out there. I feel like that puts it even more into like, dude, get away from me. I texted one friend. I texted Shane Gillison and I was like, I'm not texting anymore my Philly friends because his reaction was, he wasn't happy, obviously. He's like, yeah, that sucked. And I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna text the rest of the Philly boys. I'll give it a few days. I'll wait until I comment on my Philly comedian friends' post on Instagram for a few days because I don't want them still being butthurt when I reach out to them. But anyway, I was a full-blown dad during the Super Bowl. Full-blown. Yep. It's getting serious, guys. I think that it might be terminal, me being a father. No, it's my wife was out of town. She never goes out of town. She was visiting her friend who just had a baby, and my wife is about to have a baby in June, so it made sense for her to go visit now, obviously, rather than after she has the baby. And it was like I got a taste of what it was like to be a single dad. And I want to say, I hope I never, ever get divorced because it was so hard. And I just did it for a day. My wife does this every weekend while I'm out on the road, which honestly, I already had a lot of respect for my wife. It just gave me a different lens and different optics on the situation because you're with him all day. You're with your kid all day. And some of you who might be listening or watching are like, yeah, dude. Yeah, that's what being a dad or a mom is. Your boy I stay very busy with my work and my wife handles a lot of that side of things. It was very eye-opening to me, the amount of care that you really have to, and like attention to detail and focus that you really have to give when it's just you, when it's not a team support system where there's somebody helping you. And and this is such like a silly example, but like I was alone with him for literally a day, that's not a lot at all, but it was more just, I think that he knew that something was off because it's usually his mom who is doing the taking care of him. So I spent an hour while the Super Bowl was going on trying to calm him down. It was like, I don't even know how to describe it. Like I wanted to go watch the Super Bowl, but I knew I had to be a dad. I would go into the living room for a second to get an update, and then I would hear him like, I'm like, oh, I gotta go back, because he was like trying to fall asleep and he just wasn't there yet. So we had to had to give him a shower, had to read to him, do the whole thing. And I'm just like, while it was going on, I wanted to get to the Super Bowl, but there was also something special about me being like, oh, I'm taking care of my son right now. This is I'm being a dad. Wow. It's weird that it's hitting me. Like, he's almost 2 now. And I can literally, I think my wife trusts me to a point with her son. Like, I think that she could trust me to take care of him, stuff like that. I don't know if it's not option A. It's not option A for your boy to be
The dad around the house.
to be that Mr. Mom. I think our relationship works really well because she's like a super mom, and I'm like, trying to work as much as I can to make it comfortable so she can take a little bit of time off when we have this next baby. It's weird to say it felt like I accomplished something, but I felt like I leveled up as a freaking dad this weekend. I was like, oh, another notch in the belt, huh? That's something, when I think of belts, I think of my dad hitting me with a belt. And that's something that, Ben, I don't think you probably didn't grow up in that era, right?
No.
That was past when it was like, it's not PC to do it at all. Yeah. That's a different, that is truly a different time. Getting the belt, because, when I see a leather belt, I think of getting hit with belts right away.
Yeah.
And my dad is a pretty peaceful guy, but he can turn it up just like
Your boy.
I say I have anger flare-ups. I'm like pretty calm and cool and collected for the most part, but sometimes I can get a little intense at times. Some people say it's my Irish heritage, that it's laying dormant. My blood is boiling underneath the skin, and you don't want to provoke it at the wrong moment. Otherwise, get an anger flare-up. That's what you get. The Hulk is just like an Irish guy. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. Not at all. Listen, we don't have enough potatoes around here. It's the most stereotypical. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. And then it's just green, and then he poofs out, and he has red hair. Rather than that. I mean, the green works. Is the Hulk Irish? Is what's his name? Bruce Banner? Is that right? It's Bruce Banner, right?
Yep.
Is Bruce Banner secretly Irish? We don't know. Secretly Irish. Sounds like a reality show, huh?
All white people are secretly Irish.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. There's a lot of European mutts out there. It happens. Happens to the best of us, happens to the worst of us. It's true. Absolutely. Yeah, man.
So, how was shooting stand up on the? I know you did that a couple months back, shooting stand up on the spot in New York.
Oh, yes. Speaking of that, we have the episode from the New York Stand Up on the Spot. That's probably why you brought it up.
Yeah,
you've been editing all the clips for that. We have a new Stand Up on the Spot that's out that we shot in New York with Akash Singh, Francis Ellis, Ian Fidance, Christina Hutchinson, and Josh Adam Myers. And it was banger of an episode. I love doing the show on the road, but New York is something special because I want to get out to New York even more. And Ben, you said that you're planning on moving to New York eventually. You said your girlfriend actually works at stand up in New York, right?
Yeah, she's actually in town right now for the Chosen Comedy Festival.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool. That's very cool. There's something about doing the show in New York that's extra fun because it's such a hub where if it's an excuse for me to even go out there to see friends more and I get to shoot a show while I'm out there, that's awesome. Like, we're gearing up. I can't release the lineup yet for this next one, but I'm going to be out in New York City in April shooting another stand-up on the spot at New York Comedy Club. So get tickets at that at jeremiahwatkins.com. The ticket link is already up on my website. But I promise you, this lineup's going to be another awesome one that you definitely won't want to miss. But I love shooting the show on the road, and it's been cool also to see just some comics who've done the show, even in this last year, who've started to pop more, where like that first stand-up on the spot special that we shot, where it was Akash, Shane Gillis, Ian Fidance, Trevor Wallace. I think that's everybody on that lineup, right? Was there anybody else?
I think that was it. Yeah.
I mean, just that alone is like, that's a crazy, just to see where those guys, what they've done in the last couple of years. And then more recently, even we had what's been going on with Ralph Barbosa. He's killing it right now, and that's so cool to see. And I got to mention this George Lopez thing a little bit. I just want to touch on it. I'm not, I don't like to stir the pot too much. But what was so weird about the George Lopez thing, if you didn't see it, he basically said some stuff about Ralph Barbosa when he was interviewing Steve Trevino, super funny comic and OG Comedy Store guy who I opened for him at the La Jolla Comedy Store years ago. And he was basically being super nice in this clip, wanted to show props to Ralph Barbosa. And George Lopez kind of shot him down immediately, kind of being like, why are you bringing up another comic on my show who I'm not interviewing? That was kind of the vibe that I got. Like, why are you giving props to some dude that I've never heard of and when I'm interviewing you right here? Like,
yeah. It was sort of intense.
It was a little intense.
Yeah.
And what's so weird is George Lopez treated me the opposite when he was on my show. He literally got me a paid gig where I got to showcase in front of casting people and different stuff like that at NBC. So it was, I don't know if it was a bad day. You never know. That's what's so hard about podcasting. You're catching an insight into that person's day on that particular time. You don't know what's going on, if he was just in a bad mood or why that caught him off guard. But I think he had to end up apologizing to Ralph about it. Like, there was like,
really?
I think he the LA Times article, it went to LA, they made a story out of it because Ralph is a pretty beloved comic at this point with social media and everything and his following. Very dedicated, his fans. And I think that they stirred enough stuff up online where they're like TMZ, and I think it went to TMZ, LA Times. Like, they got a hold of it. They're like, oh, there's a story here. Like, the fans are wanting.
Yeah, enough eyes on it.
Yeah, to talk about it. And I think they said that he apologized, I guess maybe, I don't know how it was done, but it was just an odd thing. It's an odd thing when comics go at each other. Because I'm like, I don't know. Like we're all in the same work. Like, it's all like mutual. That's what was so weird about, like, that's why I don't, like, am I even adding to the problem, even bringing up that there, you know what I mean? That there was an issue. It was just kind of a strange thing. It's weird to see two comics that I know and have both been very nice to me kind of butt heads over something. And Ralph was just an innocent bystander. He literally, he wasn't even in the conversation. Trevino was just trying to give him a nice shout out, and Lopez was just like, not here right now. Yeah. This ain't happening on my show. Like, you do that on your own time, kind of thing. Don't use my platform when I'm giving you a platform. I think that's what it mainly was in his head, maybe. Like, I'm having you on as a guest. Why are you shouting out this dude that I don't know when I'm trying to give you something?
Yeah. Do you think that George will have Ralph on the show. I feel like that will end up
I think
happening.
that's gonna happen.
Yeah, I feel like that's the natural.
I mean, I think that's the the gentleman way of settling things within the comedy community. Come on my podcast.
Yeah.
We'll be fine. We'll settle it. We'll settle it like real men over a 60-minute conversation.
I mean, that would be the smartest thing for George, right? Like,
well, dude, that's kind of the premise behind Marc Maron's WTF podcast. It's basically him having on people over the years, and there's a lot of exceptions, but that's kind of how that podcast started. It's him going over the podcast with people who he's having on from his past that he butted heads with. And that's what made that podcast so interesting and such a hit, is he's like at the end of every podcast, this is why he's like, are we good or what? Yeah? What's going on? I know I said some stuff in the past, yeah. My impression of Marc Maron, because he's so successful now, he keeps finding ways to complain about things. my impression, because that's like his character, you know? He's kind of this curmudgeon kind of like character. That's like what he puts off. Like he's always like put upon. My impression of him is, but like this is successful Marc Maron. Like he keeps having to find ways to become a curmudgeon. He's like, I keep booking things. I don't know what's. I booked another Batman movie. I don't know. Things are rough out there. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, dude. Yeah. This solo, I'm gonna admit, once you get going with this solo style, I hope you guys are enjoying this. You may have turned it off by now. I don't know. I'll have to look at the YouTube analytics. You might have turned it off at minute 2. You could have been like, this ain't my speed, Jeremiah. This ain't for me, Jeremiah. I don't know why I have an accent now, Jeremiah. But I'm not digging it, or maybe I am digging it. Who knows? Hope you guys are liking this. Maybe I'll do this every once in a while. But I think there's a lot of things I don't talk about on the podcast is I don't do topical stuff very often. So I thought that would be a fun way to maybe discuss some topical things that are going on right now. And there's a lot of stuff in the sky right now, guys. There's a lot of stuff in the sky. What are your thoughts on all these Chinese balloons that are popping up, Ben?
You know, well, I don't know if they're all Chinese. I don't want you to get any wrong information.
Listen, they're all Chinese, okay? They're all Chinese. They're balloon. They were made in China, okay? And they were flown over by the Chinese people. They're good people. Some of them, the others, not so much. Not sure. I think that it's weird how much all of a sudden it's just like they're popping up
every
day. Well, this is weird. Why all of a sudden, or are they just reporting on it now?
Well, so I read that there was apparently Chinese balloons during Trump's presidency that...
Never heard of any Chinese balloon under my watch. There were absolutely no Chinese balloons that were ordained under my watch. I would have shot them all out of the sky with a pistol. I'm a marksman, okay? You've heard that they what did they say?
Well, a couple of things I read, that there was Chinese balloons during, which is so funny. Just a balloon, Chinese balloons is what we're talking about. And
have you heard of Chinese New Year's? Those people love their balloons. They love them. They're tremendous balloon makers. You look at a lot of products, they're from China, okay? It's very normal that the balloon, you'd look under the label, says made in China, okay? Keep talking, by the way, Ben. You don't have to. I'm ADD. I know that we're finding our flow here, but you don't have to stop talking. What's funny to me is what you guys can't see off camera is I start to do Trump, and then Ben just starts looking at me like, well, do I keep talking now, or are you just gonna keep ranting?
I'm giving the Trump impression some space.
No, man, don't let Trump breathe, man.
Yeah.
You give him an inch, he takes a mile, dude.
Speaking of Trump, what do you think about the Twitter? I think it's so interesting. He's got the Twitter profile back. Elon gave him the Twitter profile back, And
I actually didn't hear about that.
Yeah, he gave him the profile back, but like he unbanned him, and he's like hasn't been back on it because he has his own, Truth Social.
That he's pushing.
Yeah, well, that's where he posts, but I don't know. I think.
Do you have the app? The Truth
Twitter
app?
Oh, no. Gosh. Don't expose me right now.
Yeah.
No, I don't know anyone who has Truth Social, but
is this something that you can download from like the Android store and the Apple store?
Yeah, it's like an app.
Dude, I would love for like a first date to be going great between two people, and then like a guy's picking her up at a bar or whatever, and they get to that moment where they're like maybe gonna exchange like a number, and then she's like, so are you on Instagram? And he's like, no, can I DM you on Truth? She's like, what? What is that? Well, the way with media these days, we can't really trust the agenda of these companies, and there's a platform that has been made where things aren't being monitored, your voice isn't being listened to, your eye movements aren't taken into account through the camera on your phone. It's just truth, and it's just pure, and it's a very light platform, and I think that you'd be into it. Okay, sounds interesting. So like, who made it? Is it like a Jeff Bezos thing, or is it like that other guy, that Elon, that Tesla guy? No, it's Donald Trump, American hero. He's behind it. Okay, let me get back to you on that. We'll see. We had a nice time tonight. That was nice, at least. We'll always have that. So that's good.
A big part of my job is making the social clips, and I'm wondering what the comedy clips scene looks like on Truth Social.
Oh my goodness.
There probably are some comedians who have an Instagram, have a Twitter, have a TikTok. They're like, let's get on Truth Social. Maybe it'll blow up. Maybe we should get your account going.
Wow. What if that becomes one of the things where, like, at comedy clubs, they're like, so how many followers you got? Like, all right, I got this amount on Instagram, this amount on Twitter. But on Truth, you got 4.5 million on Truth.
Such a red flag. He's huge on Truth Social.
Yeah, huge on Truth Social. What an interesting platform.
I don't know. Maybe we should explore that.
Well, I don't know what's worse, putting our comedy videos on Truth Social or Pornhub at that point.
Yeah, I know.
like is that a conservative like OnlyFans? Like people who are super liberal, like if you're on Truth Social, they're like, yeah, they're good. They're a good friend and everything, but they're on Truth Social.
They have a following on Truth.
Yeah. Dude, are the followers called truthers?
I don't know. But I think it is a retruth. I think it's like a retweet. It's like a retruth.
What?
Yeah, they just stole Twitter, basically.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Well, this is just a kind of a shorter form thing that we're, experimenting with and doing. Comment below if you liked it. If you see that there's promise to it. Or maybe, you can also comment, this wasn't my thing. You can. It's not going to hurt my feelings. That's the thing about Jeremiah Wonders that I love so much. This show has, specifically Jeremiah Wonders, has it's kind of the playground for what I want to do and experiment with. Because the goal is for Jeremiah Wonders to eventually be a full-blown sketch show someday. That's what I really would want to do with the show. But Jeremiah Wonders also has birthed multiple things on this channel specifically. Scissor Bros was born through Jeremiah Wonders on this channel. Also, Stand Up on the Spot has been in the Jeremiah Wonders feed. I kind of treat this as like as an incubator for ideas. So, you know, and obviously if I did this style more, I naturally would get a little bit smoother at it. There's a little hiccupy at points. There were some moments where I started to die inside after I was riffing alone for a while and waiting for Ben to come in. And then he
Didn't come in.
I had to sit and wait and be like, was that riff good? I hope. You hope that the listeners and the viewers like it, but you have no idea. I think that's what's hard about this medium. As a stand-up, I know right away. I know right away whether if I say something that's off the wall or whatever, if it hits with the crowd. But this, I'm just like, yeah. All right, on to the next one. Anyway, hope you guys enjoy this episode. Check out the new Stand Up on the Spot that's out now that we just shot in New York. It's a lot of fun. It's on the new Stand Up on the Spot channel, youtube.com/@standupots. And if you want to come see me live on the road. I'm on the road quite a bit. Later this weekend, I'm in St. Petersburg, Florida. Then I'm in Chicago. Then I'll be headlining, if you're in Los Angeles, it's a chance to see me do a longer set on March 6th. I'm headlining the Hollywood Improv. March 11th, Huntington Beach, California. And then we got another Stand Up on the Spot that we're recording on March 14th. I'm releasing my 1-hour special, Daddy, on this channel on March 21st. Please mark your calendar, March 21st for Daddy. I'm going to be doing a premiere. I got Houston coming up, Austin, New York. It's going to be great, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, Jeremiah Wonders. Ben, do you have anything else that you'd like to say, or what's your Instagram or anything you want to plug coming up?
Oh, yeah, sure. Follow me at Ben Fiorica on Instagram. I don't post. I post on Jeremiah's. Okay, follow at Stand Up OTS.
Yeah, you're
on
trying to
TikTok.
help build that out.
Yeah, follow them. Follow Stand Up OTS on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Subscribe to Jeremiah on YouTube, please, guys. Please, it'll really help me out.
Oh my goodness, Ben! Ben's getting emotional. He started to weep.
He'll just give me a raise, I think, if you guys give me.
I mean, that is good incentive. That is some good incentive for one subscription a month. You could help a small child. Ben is 12, guys.
I'm 12 years old.
He's 12 years old. I have a 12-year-old assistant editor that I've been working with for my clips and stuff like that. Guys, it'll help. It'll help him move to New York.
Please.
Which will cause me even more problems. So help him. Help him.
Yeah. And if you want to see this again, maybe we could do like questions for next time if people have questions they want to ask you. That could be interesting.
That could be interesting.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm open to the idea.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, this is a good thing to experiment with when I'm traveling a little bit too much and it's too hard to book a guest on short notice or something like that. So anyway, we're meandering at this point. Love you guys. Thanks for all the support. Hope you enjoyed. Bye.
Bye.